Hi VC, Marky-mark. Struggling with a cold still, unfortunately, since my last video. But I thought I would contribute to a recent thread that somebody started, no idea how, why, on the 10 albums that I listen to the most, which kind of a silly thread. I don't know why I'm doing it because it changes. I mean, everyone, it's one point in time. It's a really difficult thing to do to actually try and choose 10 albums that you listen to the most. I, I think you can play a record to death for a period of time and then you put it back, archive it, and then you get another one. Anyway, I just thought I'd pick out the 10 that really stand out to me. I mean, it's like saying, the 10 albums that you'd take to the grave, I think, or 10 albums that desert island disc records that you would take. Anyway, let's kick this off. I've mentioned this before in a video way back with this reissue of Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Indestructible with Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, Wayne Shorter, Cedar Walton. Absolute banging album, which goes on quite often, to be fair. It's an absolute treat of a record. Thoroughly enjoy listening to this from start to finish with the Egyptian, Sortie on side 1, Calling Miss Khadija on side 2. It's just a beautiful album. Thoroughly recommend that. Very good. That goes on quite a lot. Secondly to that is this wonderful, beautiful gem of a record which recorded live. If you're serious listening to records, audiophile, standard, Jazz at the Pawn Shop is really just got to be part of your collection. It is such good fun. I don't know how they've got the sound quality of this. It's just so beautifully made. Great gatefold album, which I'm not going to show. It's got a slight seam split there on the top. I didn't realise that. Anyway, a stunning record, perfect, start to finish, an absolute treat. And this will go on usually on a Sunday when I'm feeling a bit lazy and just want something fun to listen to. So, Jazz at the Pawn Shop, thoroughly recommend that. Now, my kids love this. I bought this on CD as well because I wanted to listen to it in the car. I hold this still. Bill Evans at the Montreal Jazz Festival. This is the Analog Productions reissue, and it's, I think it's 45 RPM. It's stunning. The kids love it as well when the announcer introduces Eddie Gomez and Jack DeJohnette and Bill Evans, and everyone goes mad. The crowd go crazy and clap and everything, and it's just an absolute treat. One of my favourite Bill Evans recordings, this, and I think actually I'm happy to say it's my favourite version of Nardis on this. Miles Davis's Nardis just hits it's just the right length, not overly ambitious and self-indulgent. It's a really great listen, and I think Jack DeJohnette, Eddie Gomez, Bill, they were at their peak here. I think they won a Grammy for this. But anyway, well worth checking out and goes on quite regularly. Of all my Bill Evans records, this has been on probably the most. Number 4, Dexter Gordon, the mighty Dexter Gordon. He was like 6'5" tall. Tone Poet, One Flight Up, and just a lovely, really easy listening jazz record with Tanya on side 1. Takes up the whole of side 1, that track. Excuse me. With Donald Byrd, Kenny Drew, Niels Henning Orsted, Art Taylor. Oh, it's a great record. I love a bit of Dexter Gordon. He's always very much out front on the sax. And it's just, as I say, if you listen to Tanya, stick with it. It's just a lovely, just rolling jazz tune that I just absolutely love it. And the record's perfect. Again, Tone Poet classic. Just love it. So, yeah, very difficult to choose a Tone Poet that I play the most as part of this feature. But this wasn't too difficult to choose. Sonny Rollins on Impulse. This was the part of the Acoustic Sound series, Silver, Verve, and it's just a stunning. There's a real lazy, laid back, easy feeling listen to this record, and it's like I've often said this before. It just feels a bit like a busy bee, buzzing around at the beginning, kind of from flower to flower, which sounds a bit weird, but it's a delightful listen. It's my favourite Sonny Rollins recording. I just love it. It's just so Sunday afternoonish after that Sunday meal and sitting back with a brandy. You just listen to this. It just sets you off straight away, and it's again another classic, beautiful record from in terms of how it's made. I have found quite a lot of the Impulse stuff a little bit noisy, but this Acoustic Sounds series just fantastic. So I recommend this. Is that number 5, 6? What's that? 3, 4, 5. This is number 6, and this was probably this was one of the first tone poets that I got introduced to. Lee Morgan's The Raja, with Hank Mobley, Cedar Walton, Paul Chambers, and Billy Higgins. This is just amazing. I've played this more than most other tone poets. I love the opening track. I think it's called Pilgrim's Funny Farm. That's it. And the Raja comes after. From start to finish, each of these tracks is a solid home run. They are fantastic in their own right. Thoroughly recommend this record. And the funny haircut that Lee's got there. I think apparently he had a huge blackout after a bit of a drug binge and fell asleep on a radiator, and he'd singed the top of his head, so he had to have this funny bowl cut haircut afterwards. Anyway, fantastic. I played this the most, I think. It's just a really good, fun, easy listening jazz record, and I recommend that to anyone. Played that a lot. Now another saxophonist that I love so much, not another one because Lee's trumpet, but this is a saxophonist that I absolutely adore, Lee Konitz, who left this world not long ago and had a good career. But this is Inside Hi-Fi on the analog Pure Pleasure analog series, and this is just a great listen to. it just sings from start to finish. The perfect record. I've played this a lot, and Pure Pleasure have done a fantastic job on it. Have a look at it down here. There's Pure Pleasure. I love the front cover of this with Lee just poking through this hole in the innards of this hi-fi amp or whatever it is, and just fantastic. It's a really easy listening album. Absolutely love it. There's just lots of really good stuff on this. It keeps you coming back for more. Carrie's Trance, Everything Happens to Me, Sweet and Lovely, Pork and Bib. I mean, it's just fantastic. There's the personnel. Billy Bauer on guitar, Arnold Fishkin on bass, Dick Scott on drums. Just a really, really highly recommended, very listenable album, which I love if you like a bit of jazz or you're just starting a bit of jazz. So another jazz classic series which I fell in love with, I think it was last year, Dial S for Sonny Clark. I look at this and I always pick it out when I want a bit of swing and a bit of fun. It's a lovely record, highly recommend it. Really well made. There we are, made in Germany, so it's a pressed optimal. And yeah, one of my favourite in the Blue Note Classic series. Love it. And not a jazz album this time. And I've mentioned this, I think I did do a video some while back about my favourite female artists. And of all the artists that I like, Laura Marling has really stood out for me. And this is Songs for Our Daughter. And it is stunning, beautiful. This is the record that I would probably go to if I just want a bit of a laid back kind of, I don't know. Well, actually, my wife will sit and listen to Laura Marling, and it's a little bit not sad, but it's just melancholic. It's kind of very thoughtful, and each of the songs reflects a chapter in, a girl's life, a daughter's life, and the lyrics are very clever, beautiful music. Excuse me, and this is the this is the record that comes on quite a lot if I want some female vocals. There's no denying it. In terms of the quality of the record, it's not fantastic. I know Michael at 45 RPM really slated the quality. He must have had a really bad pressing. This isn't so bad. It's okay, but it's such a shame. And I wish Laura and her management team kind of um, try to get some quality control in the records, because it makes a big difference. But it's a beautiful record, and this one goes on quite a lot. And I've got lastly number 10. Not a jazz, not folk, but a little bit of electronica. This slab of a record. I think there's 5 vinyl records in this slab of beautifulness. Is Meister, the K&D sessions, which I got introduced to in 2003. And although it dates back to the late 90s, and I think Bernie Grunman mixed this one. I think Bernie Grunman did the mastering on that. Stunning. It's a real one. It's a very easy listening, just very clever. Lots of snippets of all sorts of beats, electronica. Bit of Ronnie Size in there. I think Ronnie Size was a Grammy winner from the early 90s when I was at university. But there's a whole session of stuff on that. So it's an absolute classic. Stream it and have a listen if you like a little bit of. It's not dancey. It's just magic. And each of those 5 records, and it's a hell of a slab. It's a real slab. Um, is oh, hang on. There we go. Look, there we go. Yeah, it's an absolute. There's Ronnie Size starts off. Alex Reese, Bomb the Bass, Bug Powder Dust. That is my favourite track. And what else we got? Depeche Mode. Oh, that's fantastic. So I really wholeheartedly recommend this if you want to listen to something late night stuff. This is when you've got your mates round, maybe having a few drinks, thinking about putting something on. The bass on it is absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, wholeheartedly recommend that. It's a real slab of a record. But yeah, those are my 10. Not in any previous order, by the way. I just picked them out of my collection just to sort of do this thread, and so hope you enjoy it. And yeah, those are my 10 records for this thread. See you soon. Keep spinning. Bye.